You are now locked in to Crossover Media.
Plugged in.
Yo, I'm live and I just got by. Don't bring a hammer inside. It's fine, the gang know I'm one of a kind. I've beat off this match like a million times. Bad on my J's, but I'm better with slam. Bro got a mash in his hand on the slide. He's nice, but he's getting excited. We know he ain't about that life. If I said this on site, then you show up. Never cared for the fame, I just blow up. Bridging sick in his head, I'ma throw up. He left a big hole in him, go no donut bacon. Been trying to get on my door up. Short temper, no, I don't wanna drop. It was you, yeah. Yo, I'm live and I just got by. Don't bring a hammer inside. It's fine, the gang know I'm one of a kind. I've beat off this match like a million times. Bad on my J's, but I'm better with slam. Bro got a mash in his hand on the slide. He's nice, but he's getting excited. We know he ain't about that life. If I said this on site, then you show up. Never cared for the fame, I just blow up. Bridging sick in his head, I'ma throw up. He left a big hole in him, go no donut bacon. Been trying to get on my door up. Short temper, no, I don't wanna throw up.
You know, it probably isn't on purpose. Well, maybe they are on purpose because she is a really good lyricist. But she had the baking, dough, donut, like that whole thing. Even though each individual line wasn't necessarily related, she tied them all together with like the cooking and baking sequence.
If I said this on site, then you show up. Never cared for the fame, I just blow up. Bridging sick in his head, I'ma throw up. He left a big hole in him, go no donut bacon. Been trying to get on my door up. Short temper, no, I don't wanna throw up. I don't care what they wanted to show us. I don't wanna speak because the feds wanna know us. I'm Teezandos on go.
Go.
I've been outside trying to double up, cash shot, huddle up, white man's nose. You spoke in the station, you're breaking the code. You know I can kill him man lyrically. You can't know what I get done physically. I left the scene, but the crowd's idea me. Show me a team on my booting ability.
That was like legitimately the only bit that I heard. I've been trying to avoid it like the plague on social media. This combination is one of those that I've always prayed for in my head. So to see it actually come to life twice, need a whole EP. Go. And look at the synchronization. I'm not really too crazy about these plugged in type beats. I know that already by now if you've been watching my channel. One thing I will say, I saw a snippet of like a behind the scenes vlog of them actually putting this together, and Teezandos overtly said, I want a plugged in beat. So even she kind of knows and understands that there's a tight beat for this particular platform. They're complementing it pretty well. I feel like because of the moment that this freestyle created, this beat is probably going to be a bit more memorable than some of the other plugged ins. That's really been my main critique of all of the beats. It's just like they all sound and feel the same. But this one in particular is probably the vocals. That might be the thing that's helping this one stand out. But the way that they're synchronizing themselves with each other and with the beat, cold. Go. Nose.
You know I can kill him man lyrically. You can't know what I get done physically. I left the scene, but the crowd's idea me. Show me a team on my booting ability. We bring smoke to the function, me and Reed. And I love bang bang like TNT. I hate undies, I know when they're pre me.
I don't know, something about that particular part, the delivery, I wasn't a fan of it. Up until this point, their flows have been like basically perfect. Let me see if I'm tweaking or not.
You can't know what I get done physically. I left the scene, but the crowd's idea me. Show me a team on my booting ability. We bring smoke to the function, me and Reed. And I love bang bang like TNT. I hate undies, I know when they're pre me. Sat in the sofa thinking, when are you free of me? I got brown eyes getting whiplash. Gamble your life didn't bring cash. She said your boy didn't dig that. No, 4950, that's big cap. She got crease like an Air Force One. Buy them both black, they don't ever mismatch. Boys going up, cause they never mismatches. Drop these, drop it before the dispatch. I work too hard, never ever relax. Like Rosa Parks, so they ever sit back, bro.
Like Rosa Parks, I never slip back.
I'm Teezandos on go. I've been outside trying to double up, cash shot, huddle up, white man's nose. You spoke in the station, you're breaking the code. You know I can kill him man lyrically. You can't know what I get done physically. I left the scene, but the crowd's idea me. Show me a team on my booting ability. We bring smoke to the function, me and Reed. And I love bang bang like TNT. I hate undies, I know when they're pre me. Sat in the sofa thinking, when are you free of me? I got brown eyes getting whiplash. Gamble your life didn't bring cash. She said your boy didn't dig that. No, 4950, that's big cap. She got crease like an Air Force One. Buy them both. We bring smoke to the function, me and Reed. And I love bang bang like TNT. I hate undies, I know when they're pre me. Sat in the sofa thinking, when are you free of me? I got brown eyes getting whiplash. Gamble your life didn't bring cash. She said your boy didn't dig that. No, 4950.
I wish they went back here. Oh, they did do it. A tweet. Nah, I cannot take Teezandos seriously. Look at the way she's doing the damn Fat Joe lean back.
She got crease like an Air Force One. Buy them both black, they don't ever mismatch. Boys gone up, cause they never mismatches. Drop these, dropped it before the dispatch. I work too hard, never ever relax. Like rolls or parts, I don't ever sit back. Bro, keep two sticks in a ride like Twix, and he fling them packs when he see a Kit Kat.
Shout outs to the Zone 2 reference. I would say it's probably a Zone 2 reference, maybe. I think it's actually Quang's song specifically.
Got two sticks in a ride like Twix. Kit Kats ringing my phone, won't leave me alone cause they need their fix.
Whatever.
Boys gone up, cause they never mismatches. Drop these, dropped it before the dispatch. I work too hard, never ever relax. Like rolls or parts, I don't ever sit back. Bro, keep two sticks in a ride like Twix, and he fling them packs when he see a Kit Kat. If you didn't want to angle, you shouldn't have run. Poor aunties lost innocent sons, and I know I miss bro, but he had to get bun, and I think it's what Pete that he gave me the Now he's calling me Fergie cause I got a feeling. The feeling's appealing. Make a man lie down with no sexual healing. I hope he don't know what he's feeling. Wow. The rum in his Porsche potent, and if they ain't gang, then I just can't roll with them, bro. Back with the blickies loaded, I'm slamming a man on no nigga. Buy them both black, they don't ever mismatch. Boys gone up, cause they never mismatches. Drop these, dropped it before the dispatch. I work too hard, never ever relax. Like rolls or parts, I don't ever sit back. Bro, keep two sticks in a ride like Twix, and he fling them packs when he see a Kit Kat. If you didn't want to angle, you shouldn't have run. Poor aunties lost innocent sons, and I know I miss bro, but he had to get bun, and I think it's what Pete that he gave me the Now he's calling me Fergie cause I got a feeling. The feeling's appealing. Make a man lie down with no sexual healing. I hope he don't know what he's feeling. Wow. The rum in his Porsche potent, and if they ain't gang, then I just can't roll with them, bro. In the back with the blickies loaded, I'm slamming a man on no Nickelodeon. Yeah, I come from the jungle, not humble. I gave bitches reasons to get up and rap. I used to think I was quitting this year, but they're digging my thing, so I'm bringing it back. The line rung like girls for a shot by
Digga D, AJ Tracy.
This the old flow, man's bringing it back. Like the Yola, man's bringing it back.
They have like some very subtle schemes. This back-to-back is insane. We need a whole EP project. We need something from these two because this is mod. This chemistry is insane. I always wanted this combination, but I didn't know it would sound like this.
If you didn't want to angle, you shouldn't have run. Poor aunties lost innocent sons. I know I miss bro, but he had to get bun, and I think it's what Pete that he gave me the Now he's calling me Fergie cause I got a feeling. The feeling's appealing. Make a man lie down with no sexual healing. I hope he don't know what he's feeling. Wow. The rum in his Porsche potent, and if they ain't gang, then I just can't roll with them, bro. In the back with the blickies loaded, I'm slamming a man on no Nickelodeon. Yeah, I come from the jungle, not humble. I gave bitches reasons to get up and rap. I used to think I was quitting this year, but they're digging my thing, so I'm bringing it back. The line rung like girls for a shot by show, and they asked for me. I was outside with the guys and swinging my knife from the age of 15. I'm outside, gear up. I'm on time, gear up. He got slime, gear up. And if you really got banging, you better gear up. Fumez, the engineer.
Reload it! Reload it!
We're plugged in with Fumez.
Yo, I'm live and I just got by. Don't bring a hammer inside. It's fine, the gang know I'm one of a kind. I've beat off this match like a million times. I don't like J's, but I'm better with slam. Bro got a mash in his hand on the slide. He's nice, but he's getting excited. We know he ain't about that life. If I said this on site, then you show up. Never cared for the fame, I just blow up. Bridging sick in his head, I'm a throw up. He left a big hole in the middle.
And you know, it's not just the fact that they did a back-to-back, it's the fact that they're picking up on each other's schemes, picking up where the other person left off. They're not making it where it's like, all right, cool, this is your bit, all right, my turn. They actually sat down, they wrote this together, and they said, all right, cool, you rhyme there, all right, I'm gonna pick it right up, I'm gonna continue the rhyme, and then we switch it. Other than that, I'm just loving the actual sense of intentionality put into this. I know it's drill fans generally don't really expect much from their artist, but for me, because I know what these two can do, the fact that they didn't just say, all right, it's a plugged in, whatever, just go, just be rude. They actually tried to make a good song. That's the reason why I had to wheel this.
I don't care what they wanted to show us. I don't want to speak because the feds want to know us. I'm Teezandos on go. I've been outside trying to double up, cash got huddle up, white man's nose.
And something that they did several times in this too is they had minor flow switch ups. They had these little hiccups, moments where you thought, all right, cool, I know what the flow is gonna be. And they didn't just ride that particular flow and stay in that particular pocket the whole way through. They actually made an adjustment. That's the little things that make me kind of recalibrate and refocus while I'm listening. It's really easy, especially with plugged in and especially with drill sometimes, that once you hear the beat, you hear what flows they start with, you kind of just sit there and you almost listen to it like a zombie. You just like, you're listening to it just for the vibes at that point. And then in them having these switch ups, it's making me actually want to take in what they're saying and not just treat their voices like another layer on top of the beat.
Blow up, bridging sick in his working. Been trying to get on my door. I'm short temper, no, I don't wanna grow up. I don't care what they wanted to show us. I don't wanna speak because the feds wanna know us. I'm Teezandos.
Go.
I've been outside trying to
Double up,
double up. White man's nose.
goes.
Smoking the station, you're breaking the code. You know I can kill a man lyrically. You can't know what I get done physically. I left the scene, but the crowd's ideal me. Show me a team on my boot and ability. We bring smoke to the function, me and Reed. And I love bang like TNT. I hate undies, I know when they're pre and me. Sat in the sofa thinking, when are you free of me? I got brown eyes, getting whiplash. Gamble your life, didn't bring cash. She said your boy didn't dig that. No, see 950, that's big cap.
And even with that segment that Cristale jumped in, she kind of kept the same cadence, but switched up the rhyme scheme. So now it's like the flow feels very similar. I'm like used to the pocket that she's in. I'm used to her kind of being in sync with the counter snares on here and the hi-hats, whatever they are. But now because the whole rhyme scheme changed, it almost feels like she didn't change the flow. But that's just my initial impression, my second time listening to this. Well, no, the reload.
Crowds idea me. Show me a team on my boot and ability. We bring smoke to the function, me and Reed. And I love bang like
TNT.
I hate undies, I know when they're
Free
pre
me.
Sat in the sofa thinking, when are you free of me?
me.
I got brown eyes, getting whiplash. Gamble your life, didn't bring cash. She said your boy didn't dig that. No, see 950, that's big cap. She got creased like an Air Force One. Buy them both black, they don't ever mismatch. Boys going up, cause they never mismatches. Drop deep, drop to go for the dispatch. I work too hard, never ever relax. Like Rosa Parks, I don't ever sit back. Bro, keep 2 sticks in a ride like Twix, and he fling them packs when he see a Kit Kat.
You know, people like to compare Cristale to PS. I get it, but I'm listening to this and I'm hearing a bit of a young Gets. There's a lot of intricacies in the pockets that she's finding here. I'm looking forward to seeing if Queso Big Dipper actually jumps on this particular reaction, because he's really good at identifying pockets and kind of breaking down the more technical aspects. Even Scooteria Scoot, I'm pretty sure he actually reacted to this already. I want to see what he had to say about this on a technical level. But yeah, I know there's a lot of minor technical things happening in here. I want to make sure I shout them out and give it appreciation.
So thinking, when are you free of me? I got brown eyes, getting whiplash. Gamble your life, didn't bring cash. She said your boy didn't dig that. No, see 950, that's big cap. She got creased like an Air Force One. Buy them both black, they don't ever mismatch. Boys going up, cause they never mismatches. Drop deep, drop to go for the dispatch. I work too hard, never ever relax. Like Rosa Parks, I don't ever sit back. Bro, keep 2 sticks in a ride like Twix, and he fling them packs when he see a Kit Kat. If you didn't want to angle, you shouldn't have run. Poor aunties lost innocent sons. My arm is bro, but he had to get bun, and I think it's what Pete that he gave me the shh.
First of all, that's P. I'm not gonna lie, that's thumbnail material right there. When Teezandos jumped in on that very sinister moment, they allowed the beat to mellow out, and it's like it made what she had to say sound so much more devious. Cause like, no, you gotta sit down and listen to this. You're not gonna be distracted by all the other things in the beat. No, you're gonna hear.
She got creased like an Air Force One. Buy them both black, they don't ever mismatch. Boys going up, cause they never mismatches. Drop deep, drop to go for the dispatch. I work too hard, never ever relax. Like Rosa Parks, I don't ever sit back. Bro, keep 2 sticks in a ride like Twix, and he fling them packs when he see a Kit Kat. If you didn't want to angle, you shouldn't have run. Poor aunties lost innocent sons. My arm is bro, but he had to get bun, and I think it's what Pete that he gave me the shh. Now he's calling me Fergie, cause I got a feeling. The feeling. Make a man lie down with no sexual healing. I hope he don't know what he's feeling. Wow. The rum in his Porsche potent, and if they ain't gang, then I just can't roll with them, bro. In the back with the blickies loaded.
And that's what I'm talking about when I say pockets. For a split second, because of the pockets that she was on before, when Cristale jumps on, it almost feels and sounds like she's off beat, especially because there's no instrumental going on underneath her voice. So you kind of get startled just a little bit. Wait, hold on, wait, this doesn't feel right. It seems a little discombobulated. Once the beat comes back, you realize, oh, not only is she on beat, she's like in a slightly different pocket of the same beat, but still keeping that skippiness to it. That's what I'm saying. I'm hearing like a young Gets in her, yo.
The feeling's appealing. Make a man lie down with no sexual healing. I hope you don't know what he's feeling. Wow. The rum in his Porsche potent, and if they ain't gang, then I just can't roll with them, bro. In the back with the blickies loaded, them slamming a man on Nickelodeon. Yeah, I come from the jungle, not humble. I gave bitches reasons to get up and rap. I to think I was quitting this year, but they're digging my thing, so I'm bringing it back. The line rung like dance for a shot by show, and they asked for me. I was outside with the guys and swinging my knife from the age of 15. I'm outside, gear up. I'm on time, gear up. He got slime, gear up. And if you really got grinding, you better gear up. It's the engineer.
I'm happy that Teezandos and Cristale are getting the attention that they deserve and the respect that they deserve. I actually had people out here mention this particular plugged into me. That just goes to show the reach that it had. It wasn't just a gimmick. What they did here showed levels of technicality, the ways in which they bounce back and forth between each other's flows, picking up on each other's schemes, switching each other's flows while going in between their back-to-backs. These are the things that I personally enjoy when it comes to young artists like Cristale and Teezandos, and that's why I keep saying they are the future. It's when artists come through and they deliver something that's so memorable to their plugged in, that's what gets me gassed, because there's so many plugins that have come out, and the thing that really makes most of them memorable aren't even necessarily what they delivered musically, but just the memes that come out of them, or just the moments that were just so rude. And to me, I think that takes away from artists like Teezandos, Cristale, even Big Tobes, for example, who had a very good plugged in, but because they didn't stay to the archetype of like the rude but still catchy and kind of cliche, they didn't get the shine that they deserve. So that's why I'm happy that these two actually had a plugged in that encapsulated the best of everything plugged in. They're just funny as a duo in general, and they let that personality shine in the video, but they still had a very technically sound drill freestyle, and I think that's the thing that makes this one of the best plugged ins. And to be honest, after what they did on that last plugged in, this wasn't a surprise in terms of the quality, but all of the little things that they did to make it stand out within the noise that is drill right now, I have to be appreciative of it.